We are going to ideally spend about anywhere between 30 minutes and 1 hour on this, depending on how many questions you have and how many and how the replay code how the replay goes. Do you have? You sent a new code, right? Do you want to stick with that code?
Yeah.
Okay, let me grab it real quick. Now, do you have any questions before we get into the gameplay? Any questions related to, I don't know, your hero pool, the way you train, I don't know, motivation, anything? Do you have any questions?
I mean, right now for support, I'm just playing Juno,
Mm-hmm.
really,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it hard to carry because it's just not super easy to get kills with Juno versus someone like Zen.
Okay.
And it's just like a lot of times I require my teammates to do not a whole lot, but at least something, and it's just
Mm-hmm. This is Splat, right?
yeah. So I don't
Okay.
really.
So you only have questions about Juno.
Yeah.
Okay. What is Juno good at? Why is this character being played
Um,
right now?
her ult, her speed.
Okay. So you have. So what about those? Like, why is her good? Why is her speed good? I mean, your kit is really varied, right? You have mobility for
Hmm.
yourself. You have mobility for everybody. You have some burst damage and burst healing. Your gun does pretty good amount of damage. Sorry, of healing, and your ult is like your ult is hit or miss, but we're gonna get into it later. Juno is, I mean, if you could describe Juno in one sentence, what do you think Juno? What is Juno better at than other supports? Why would you pick Juno over something else?
She kind of just can help everyone everywhere.
So you have a lot of ranged support, right? You can heal from
Yeah.
range, you can speed from range. If you think about a hero like Lucio, Lucio can also speed, he can also assist, he can also heal, but he has to be on top of the person that he needs to assist, right?
Yeah.
You have the luxury of holding a longer angle and helping everybody like a turret, right? And a lot of Juno is just constant pressure, right? You do a lot of healing over time. You farm a lot of ult. You do a lot of damage to your balls over time. I'm gonna call the torpedoes balls. And then you have a lot of repositioning options so that you can keep pressuring. You can keep. It's important to keep doing stuff. You use your mobility to keep like deepening your angle or get a better angle and keep applying pressure, right? That could be either to help your team push, to do damage by yourself, or to pull or to kite away from enemy attacks, right? Using your mobility.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way you basically what I'm trying to get at is that basically the way you sort of quote unquote carry Juno is you just do a lot all the time. You pressure the enemies for a lot of time with your cooldowns, and eventually you're gonna hit a good speed and your team is gonna get in there and you're gonna hit your balls, which change the breakpoint. So for example, if our horse is javelin in and she has ult and you hit the enemy team with the balls, that changes the breakpoints. It makes them squishier so our horse can like follow up and get the kills with the ult, right? So it's a lot with Juno. It's a lot of small things you have to do. You have to constantly pressure, but you have to time your pressure well with how the fight is flowing. Are you familiar with the concept of flow, of ebb and flow in
Mm.
Overwatch?
I've never heard of it.
You never
When
heard of
said
it?
like that. No.
Okay, so you know how. So we have each character has cooldowns, right? When you have your
Yeah.
cooldowns and your ultimate, these are resources. Everything is a resource. Your ammo is a resource. Your cooldowns are a resource. Your HP is a resource. Your ult is a resource. So when you have resources, you're strong. When you have more resources than the enemy team, you're stronger. So when you have more resources, you can afford to push because you're gonna do more damage than the enemy team is gonna do to you, right? But if
Okay.
you don't get a kill and you use your resources look like this, right? Because you use your cooldowns. So your value by just shooting is obviously it's way less than your value when you have your torpedoes, right? So then
Hmm.
if you use your cooldowns and the enemy doesn't die and the enemy has their cooldowns, now they have the advantage, right? They have more resources. So now they are stronger. So now you need to be careful because if you push into a disadvantage like this, you might die. So the concept of flow is tied to which side has the advantage in terms of resources, positioning, whatever, right? When and why this is important is because with Juno, you have your speed. If you have speed, you can make use of your advantage better because you can get into position to do a lot of damage faster, and you can also run away from the enemy damage. So what happens a lot in higher ranks is, say the enemy team has Blizzard, right? And we don't have a lot of ults. So the enemy team has an advantage. And when they Blizzard, we speed away and we kite the ultimate. We run away from the ultimate. And then we re-engage with our own ults, with our own cooldowns, and now they have less resources, and we win. Does it make sense? That's the flow, right? You could think it of like a balance, right? At the start of the match, the team comps are more or less balanced because nobody has any big advantage. Then as one team starts getting ultimates before the other, the balance tilts. And then once the enemy team uses their ultimates, now they don't have, now we have ultimates, they don't have ultimates, so the balance is tilted in our favor, right? The important part is not dying for their ults, because then their ults get value. So the concept of flow is how you react to what the enemy has and how you counteract it with your own stuff. And a lot of the time, especially with Juno, who doesn't have a lot of brawling potential, you don't necessarily benefit from fighting one-on-one with somebody. You don't, I mean, you can 1v1 because you have your torpedoes, but you're not very good at winning 1v1s, right? So a lot of the time, how you're going to win with Juno is you're going to bait the enemy into using their stuff, and then you're going to go in with your own stuff and you're going to run them over. Does it make sense? My phone is ringing. Oh. Okay, let me put it on silent. Okay. So, given that, we're going to pay attention to a bit of that, but I want to hear how you are thinking of the kit before we get into gameplay. How do you think you should use your cooldowns?
I use the speed. If someone, like the enemy is diving my team, I can speed them out. Or if we get a pick and we have an advantage, I speed us in to push the advantage, stuff like that.
You can also use speed if you see somebody is 1v1ing, you can also throw your ring on them, because if they get speed, they get more unpredictable movement, and that might help them reach cover faster. Speed is very strong in Overwatch, not only because it allows you to like push harder or run away, but also because it allows you to rotate faster or to reach cover faster. Okay, go on.
The right click, you just try to get as much value, get many targets in there.
Okay, when should you use your right click?
When they're like out in the open, kind of, so they can't just hide behind cover and deny value pretty much.
Okay, what if your team is pushing behind, like through a corner or through a choke? We're pushing the cover, right?
Okay.
So then you can.
I pop on the other side.
I
go with them.
Yeah. So for example, let's say we're fighting here. We have. Let me actually see what's your team picks here. Oh god. Okay, whatever. So they have a horse, an echo, a sojourn. So they're probably gonna put the horse on point, right? They're gonna have their echo here, their sojourn somewhere like here, and then this is the back line. And then we're gonna have, let's suppose they're not going high ground. And then we have our Doom here. Maybe it's another color. Our Doom is here. Our Maze here. Our Junkrat is here, and this is Junk. And this is you, okay? You're Juno. This is you. One way you can use your torpedoes is you could, if we're ready to push, you could ring here for your team, and then you can use your boosters or whatever they're called to swing wide, and then you're like swinging around the corner, so you're avoiding the enemy cover, and then when you swing around the corner, you charge your torpedoes and you get big torpedo value here. And this is important because you're also helping your team push, right? So when remember the example that I gave with the Orisa stuff, pressure is very valuable, but it's important that you time pressure around the times when your team can take advantage of that. Because if you don't, if you use your balls and then the enemy team pushes and you don't have your balls or your team doesn't push, you're kind of screwed. You wasted your cooldown because your cooldown is not enough to secure a kill, right?
Yeah.
So you need to look, is my team taking a lot of damage? Are they down cooldowns? If that's the case, then they're probably not ready to push. Once they're like chill and you see your Doom is kind of positioning, just like kind of like pushing forward to look for a cycle, you know that you're gonna be ready to push in, right? So you can look for a cycle like this. More generally, you can use torpedoes when you are switching your position, because you have a lot of mobility. Because you have a lot of mobility, you can be anywhere on the map really, because you have your double jump and you have your boosters. The trade-off is that you're pretty squishy and you don't do a lot of damage, so you can't really fight people on angles, but you can realistically get on any angle that you want. So you can use your mobility to reposition, and while you're repositioning, you can use your torpedoes to get that like extra damage in. While you're repositioning, you are scouting, you're seeing where the enemy team is, and as you're repositioning, you're getting an angle on them, right? They don't expect you to. They see the enemy team is like, shut up, oh my big pen. They see the enemy team is like here, so they're playing the LOS, but you're taking an angle on them. And when you use your mobility to take an angle, you can also use your torpedoes, because that's where you're going to get the biggest value most of the time, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you can sneak a cycle of torpedoes in before, or like in between fights, in the poke phase. So you know how usually how fights go in Overwatch is you have the setup where we're just getting to where the fight is gonna happen, and then you have your poke phase where the enemies are not really, or we're not really committing, the enemies are not really committing, we're just kind of poking at each other, we're just kind of throwing damage in, looking for an opportunity, and then there's the commit, right? In this poke phase, you can sometimes afford to like throw your torpedoes in if you know that you're gonna have it back for the commit. So like if you're taking space and stuff, you can do this, shoot, you can like fly here, torpedoes, heal your team, speed, go in, torpedoes again, you know? That's like, if you, sometimes you can sneak in an extra torpedoes just for the ult charge. Does it make sense? Or am I blabbering? Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so the TLDR is look for open angles where you can pressure, because you can heal your team from range. You don't have to sit on top of your team, and in fact, it's not a good idea to sit on top of your team. Look for angles that are open, and then support your team with your ranged healing. Use your ring to help them push in, and synchronize your pressure from with torpedoes. Synchronize your pressure with your team, and look for like combos. And then keep moving. You have so much mobility that it's not worth to just sit in a spot. Keep looking for opportunities. Keep looking for open angles. You know, you could like sneak in here if they don't have any dive. You could sneak in here and you could torpedoes from behind, and then you can booster here and keep shooting, and then you could ring your team and go back here. You're really, really mobile, right? You need to take advantage of that. And now, do you have any? How do I say this? Do you have trouble playing against a certain hero, maybe?
I mean, Reaper can mess me up sometimes if he just like TP's right on top of me and I don't see it coming. But not, if I like know he's coming, then I can kind of create distance beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, with any dive hero, really, it's important to just scout them. So if you know that the enemy team has a certain target that can ambush you, that's your weakness. You know, you're pretty squishy. If this Echo catches you, you're gonna die. So you need to track this guy all the time. You need to know where he is. And when he's not a threat, you can take space. You can also do damage to the Echo, because she's like, she has as much HP as you do, right?
Yeah.
So against dive in general, against mobile heroes, it's all about scouting and keeping your distance. If you let them get close to you, you're in trouble. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they just kind of insta-died.
It's not your fault, but I'll be honest, I think this angle is much better for you.
Yeah.
Than here. This is fine for a flank, but it's really congested and it's also kind of close for you. remember you have range, right? You're not a brick. You don't have to be close to do stuff. So you can chill here. You have high ground, you have distance, you have a disengage route this way. I think this is just better, also because it's an angle. Right now, all the pressure is just coming from the middle. You know, if you were like here, I mean, would it have made a difference? No, your team just fell over, but that doesn't mean that the theory shouldn't. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about the theory behind how you should play, right? So
Yeah.
So being here is good because it's a different angle. You're forcing the enemy team to make a choice: do I shoot the Juno or do I shoot Juno's team? And if they don't shoot you, if they don't make a choice, you can get aggressive, right? You can double jump, you can slide on this with your boosters, and you can torpedo, and then you can fall back here. There's stuff you can do. I don't think there's a lot of stuff you can do here. This is a spot that your Junkrat would like to play in, for example, just because of the way like his projectiles work. So your me gets picked, your guy gets picked. Now, this is fine. Just get out. Okay, for the next fight, you have two options. You can stay here and then flank this way and look for torpedoes, or you can like, go this way, maybe. But this is dangerous against the soldier. You could also just play inside and then fly this way. Okay, we see our Junkrat is taking space. We should look for our tank. Our tank is behind us. He swapped to Mauga. That's okay. This is nice. And here, I don't think you have to live. I think you can greed it a bit because you see she's low. You can just sit on this corner, and if she turns to you, just speed ring out. You know, there's just more stuff that you could be doing here. The fight is won, but if you kill this echo, if you stagger this echo, it's gonna take even longer for them to regroup, right? Instead, you go like shoot the horse at full HP. The ring is fine. This is good. A lot of Juno's skill comes from knowing which surfaces you can climb on with your shift. So if you, I mean, you can double jump on this. I told you already that you can double jump on this, and then you can glide with your boosters on top of this, and you get a really nice high ground angle. And sometimes when there are corners close to each other, you can strafe left, right, and you keep climbing up. Sorry?
I don't, yeah, I know about that. I have not really ever used that much.
It's useful to get high grounds. So like, sure, there's you can jump here and then you can jump up here, but certain maps don't allow that. So it's useful to like experiment and see what you can do with your movement, because like sometimes maybe you have to do this quickly, or maybe you want to make a surprise play, or maybe there's like some cool. I mean, I see sometimes I see Alma 7 do crazy stuff with the movement, right? With the boosters. So that's where if you like Juno, that's where you're just gonna go and practice and try to discover ways that you can use her movement creatively, right? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like there's a good example here that I know of. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I can think of is the bridge for this map. I think. What are you thinking here? What's your plan?
Probably just throw some torpedoes at them from the off angle.
Okay, and then what?
I don't know. Go back to my team.
Go back to your team. Okay, where's a useful loop for just playing in general with any hero is you ask yourself once the fight is over, you ask yourself where is the next fight going to happen? Because if you know, so if you find the position of the fight, or if you find the where the fight is going to happen, then it's really easy for you to answer the question, where should you be? So if you know where the fight is happening, you know where your position should be. So for example, and what you're doing is not bad. If you're trying to get a cycle in before the fight, that's correct, but you need to know what your plan is, you know, because Because if this guy gets charged and you're in the open and you don't know what you're doing, you don't have a plan, you're just flying around in the open, there's a good chance you're gonna die. So what do you think? Where is the fight going to happen?
I mean, they could push through that little staircase behind us.
Okay. So you think the fight is happening here?
Well, I mean, they're not back yet,
Right.
right? So, I mean, it might happen like kind of where I'm standing right now.
Around this corner, right? Usually, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not always the case, but usually, good spots to think about are corners, chokes, because that's where it's easy to hold, right? Around this corner, it's easy to hold. So, supposing the fight is happening here, where do you think it should be?
Um,
I'm asking these questions because eventually you should be able to ask these questions yourself during the game and find the answers, right?
yeah. I don't know. I'll probably play around that little bus where kind of where my Junkrat is,
You could also
and
play
then
inside here and
yeah,
then
that was
flank this way.
my other option. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
You could also, if you play here, I don't like going in
Go
here
on.
because it's a really
Yeah.
close angle. It's like a shotgun angle. But in lack of other options, you can try that. We don't have ults on board yet, and neither team has ults yet, so you don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to. This is like a passive kiting position. This is a more aggressive brawling position. I would go for this just because you're not really scared of anything that they have right now. They're coming up with Sojourner, so that's like one reason to be scared. But I don't know. I think like normally, like you should start expecting ults. Okay, certain ults charge faster than other ults. Juno ult charges fast. And maybe rally, maybe, but this also charges fast recently. So these ults you can start expecting after the first fight. You should start expecting like most ults after the second fight. And given that, that dictates how you position. If you know they have Sojourn ult, you cannot play aggressively because she's gonna catch you when you try to disengage because she has a slide, right? So then you should play here if you know they have Sojourn ult. And when they Sojourn ult, you ring, fly here, and then you wait for the Sojourn ult to end. This is the flow that I was talking about. You know they don't have Sojourn ult, you can play here. You don't care. Usually she has beam, or usually she's blue, she has rail. You just don't peek. You just sit here and you farm your ult on the tank, right? Your team the ring I don't like because the ring is a really long cooldown and you're not gonna have it when the fight is gonna start. Okay, what do you think your response should be right now?
To the Orisa?
What you see right now, you see a Brigand and Orisa, right? And a Sojourn Rail.
Your team is close to take cover?
Where?
Probably in that little room.
Here?
Yeah.
Sure. You see the enemy team has rotated behind you. It's like really simple. The enemy team is going left, you're going right. You want to keep your distance. You don't want to fight really close unless you have your ultimate. The enemy team goes left, you go right. The enemy team is pushing forward, you start going backwards. It's like a dance. This is fine. This is a scenario where a ring would be useful, right? So right now you could ring your Reaper, you could ring yourself. This is also where torpedoes could be good. But I like your disengage. That's okay. Get pressed, that's fine. If you want to chase this guy, you can't chase him anymore. You hear the echo. I don't think you realized the echo was there.
Yeah.
This ring is also useless. So we use ring, I told you, we use ring when we want to win a 1v1. We use ring when we want to push. Or we use ring when we want to pull or retreat. Generally when we want to move, when we want to rotate, when we want to move, right? And I told you, you see that your team wants to move either because the enemy team is pushing in with ults, or we have ults and we're like positioning to go in. You see that your Mauga wants to go in because he's positioned aggressively. He's not playing in your backline, you know? So now, for example, you don't have your ring. They have a lot of ults, so this is a mistake from you. Because you see they have Rally and Horse and Juno and all that stuff. Going back here is okay. Now you have your ult. So now if you want to, you could go, maybe you see Javelin Spin. But this is another thing about flow. When you can wait for certain cooldowns to be spent so that the enemy team is weakened, so that then you can press your advantage and try to go all in and commit, right? Maybe you see Javelin Spin, so this guy can no longer mitigate a lot of damage. So then we use our ult, we use torpedoes, and then we push in aggressively and we kill him because he cannot run away. He doesn't have his Javelin Spin. And if the enemy team doesn't react with this and or this, he's gonna die. And oftentimes what's gonna happen is you will force a disproportionate response by being proactive. So if you use your Juno ult here, it's very likely that they're gonna use Juno ult and Rally. So you're gonna trade 2-for-1 ults. And even if you lose, it doesn't matter because it is just a resource trade in your favor. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So now I would like you to go aggressive. This is why we need our ring here that we don't have. We need to ring, Juno ult, torpedoes. This you're gonna use this combo all the time because damage boosted torpedoes does like what? I think it's like 80 by default and then 35% increase. That's like 120 or something. 100 and something.
85 to 115, I think.
115. Yeah, that's like almost half HP of a squishy target, you know. So this is where ring would be useful. The ult is fine. The torpedoes are good. They also, so see how they use like 4 ults for 1?
Yeah.
Even if you lose here, it's still good.
We still win the resources.
Really?
I get sick on that, but I was dead anyway.
Yeah. Let me turn on the volume a bit. We use Reaper ult, which is... Wait, when did we use... Did we use Junk ult? Oh. Okay. That's weird. Anyway. Using Reaper ult is not great. Now we're like back to a fair fight. He dies, nothing you can do about that. So like here, if you want to, you can go for a torpedo cycle because the fight is not going to start for the next 20 seconds. So you could like double jump, glide off this, torpedoes, and then go out with ring. To just farm your orb faster. And I think that you can... What do you think? Where should you play?
I think I'm gonna go for that same little flank play with the torpedoes again. Here? That's probably what I'm looking to do. But
do you see another option?
If they push up a little more, then I can probably play from the high ground. Or right where you're
Or right here, right?
Yeah.
You could also just sit here,
yeah.
pocket your Mauga, and then if you see an opportunity, you can like fly wide. The reason why I don't love this, I think it's not bad, but you have a Mercy. And Mauga is a tank that requires a lot of pocket because he takes a lot of damage. He doesn't have any shield, he doesn't have any matrix, he requires a lot of healing because he doesn't stop taking damage, right? So I don't hate you taking the flank, but it's possible that if your Mauga doesn't realize that you're like not pocketing him, it's possible that he dies. So given that if this was a Kiriko or a Nana, I wouldn't care. I would go flank with torpedoes. But because this is a Mercy, I would rather you stay here and you keep your Mauga up so you can farm the Orisa, and then you like make a play on main. Also because you see that your team is playing on the angle. You have your soldier that's coming back from spawn. That's probably going to take this flank, and then you have a Junkrat in this room. So effectively, we're like occupying. We will, if the soldier plays smart and goes this way, we will be occupying 3 lanes. And this means that if we get an advantage and push this way, the enemy team doesn't have anywhere to back. Because they're going to run into the Junkrat and the soldier, you know?
Yeah.
So in this scenario, I think that it's better to just sit on main with your Mauga. Yamaga's half HP. He has to pop Cardiac because of that. That forces Mercy Pocket on him. The ring is too early. Once you see Cardiac, Cardiac is what allows Maoga to be aggressive. It's the same with Queen Shout. It's the same with Winston Bubble. When those heroes don't have those cooldowns, they can't really go in. So this ring, we're not ready to push, right? If you ring with your Maoga when he wants to go for a big slam and then pop Cardiac, that's much better. And your Maoga is going to have his Cardiac in like 8 seconds, but you're not going to have your ring back. So overall, this fight, you haven't really done anything. Now your Maoga wants to go in, right? So you need to match it. You need to match his aggression. You need to ring him, and then you need to torpedoes. But we're not there. Ring him, nice. This is good. Torpedoes are good. It's good, just a bit late. This is fine, just be careful of rail. Okay. They're coming up on Juno, we almost have fire. This is okay. Pressure on Echo is very good. And then this is fine. I think it's fine. I think you just get a bit unlucky that you run into the sharper shot. The reactor rest anyway. Okay, this is good. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So now we have our ult. We can position to play more aggressively and do the combo again. That's okay. Okay, this guy wants to go in. Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah.
I will say that you don't have to ring here. Ends up working out because you used it to go in. And then he gets anti. Not much you can do about this. I don't know. Your team is getting split by the course. And the okay, Soldier's playing a fine position. It's okay. Only thing there, you should probably just stay in the Ray. Like, just push with the Ray. If you die, just, I mean, just die here and try to get another pick, you know? Okay, let's see the torpedoes here. Nice. Okay. At this point, you need to make sure that you don't die, because you have 2 people in spawn. If you die now, it's really bad because you're gonna stagger really hard.
Yeah.
We use Cage. We want to like take a fight on this corner and try to force an ult out, because we either want to just get out and fight here when our soldier is back, or fight on this corner 4-on-5 and try to get an ult out. It's really weird. It looks like we're gonna fight around the corner. This rotation is fine, but honestly, I don't think it's super necessary. I think you can just sit here. Nobody can chase you. You can disengage this way. Nobody can chase you. You can assist everybody. And this is a much better angle for torpedoes and for pressure overall than in here. For the same reason that I said before. This is just close. This jump right angle. Honestly, I don't know if I care too much. It's too far away for you to do significant healing. I would focus on helping my Malcolm main and looking for torpedoes here. He's also not helping you heal him, so like, if you see he's dodging your heals, don't bother. Yeah. So now I can get a big ring in. We don't have a ring here, so you need to be careful. You should all probably just back in this staircase thing. Because if you push in the open, if you have to... I mean, you can't really kite wide because of the bob, so you need to just sit in here and wait for the bob to end. Torpedoes are good. The healing is fine. Did a mini, nice. And here, honestly, you could go like this: torpedoes and then get out, or at least force the Sojourn to slide on you. I think that's a bit of a waste, but that's fine. Torpedoes are much more valuable on squishes. If a Sojourn gets hit by 85 damage, she's gonna be way more scared to peek again than an Orisa, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but if you have... You know that the lock-on is faster the closer the target is, right?
Yeah.
And you also know that if the target is not locked on and you cancel the ability, you have a 2-second cooldown.
Yeah.
So in that scenario where you just saw the horse in front of you, you can cancel your ability. It's not worth using.
Okay. I never canceled. I usually don't ever cancel the torpedoes.
I mean, you should honestly, you should also like look a bit before you go with torpedoes, because it's just, it's true for any ability. If you just go around the corner and you use an ability, you don't know what you're gonna shoot. You don't know what's there, right? So it might be wasted. It's the same with shooting in general. You need to aim your crosshair first and then shoot. What a lot of people do is they start shooting, and then after they start shooting, they try to adjust their aim to shoot the target, or to correct their aim, which leads to them wasting half a clip before they actually get any damage in. So like, just peek a bit, or try to get an idea of what's happening before you press the button. We could ult here, nice. Let's get a torpedoes in. You need to torpedoes this.
Yeah, it was on cooldown.
Oh, my bad. This is good. You could ring so that Tremala can keep pushing. Okay. So this is a question that I usually start with, but I forgot to ask it today. Why did you choose this code? It doesn't seem like you had a lot of issues. I think you mostly played fine. Like, apart from not taking certain open angles and...
I just didn't feel like I was... Like, I just was playing average. I wasn't caring, you know?
Juno's not really one of those heroes that you get a lot of kills on, you know? It's just, you use your speed to help your team push in or to save your team. That doesn't feel great unless you realize that your speed is what saved the team. And then torpedoes are cool, but they can mostly secure kills only when you use it in conjunction with something else, like a cage or a visor or an Orisa ult or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you play fine. Do you want to, I don't know, do you want to end it here? Do you have another code, or do you want to maybe hop into a game and do some life coaching?
I got other codes I played after this game, and played some yesterday and today, and where they were just terrible.
Who was terrible?
Well, everyone, but you know, it's just like I just felt like couldn't do anything.
Okay. So
and then my team couldn't do anything either.
So you have a game where you felt powerless?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to take a look at that? We still have like 20 minutes left or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this Dorado game. I don't think we did anything. Like, yeah.
We're playing Juno Break, which means that you can be more aggressive with your abilities because you can get pocket from your other support. You can help each other. We have a Cassidy, which we're probably gonna spend most time taxing around and pocketing and stuff. And you can also use your speed on the queen to allow her to push even more aggressively. The Widow you don't really care about, honestly. And they have double poke, which means that we need to play our cover smart and try to you're mostly gonna try to just avoid, if you can pressure the Ash or the soldier from an angle, that's fine. You can force them to like pay attention to you. So like for example, if you can I don't know, cross here and then take high ground and just poke them a bit and then play this angle, this dead angle, so they can't see you, that's good because you can like force them to look towards you so they don't look towards your team, right? Sort of bait yourself, be a distraction. But you're mostly gonna just avoid their sidelines just because they do a lot of damage at range and you're squishy. So you're gonna play for just not either distracting and poking a bit with your torpedoes and then just playing cover and helping your queen win the tank trade against Sigma so you can keep pushing the card. Another thing that you can do, are you a vocal person? Do you talk in voice chat?
No, I usually leave voice chat in.
Another thing that you can do, but it's kind of hard to coordinate, is you can go this way with your team. You can put your break on card, and then you can go this way, and you can try to fight top and take top. Because the Sigma is gonna have to like mark point, so the point doesn't move, and then you can like take the fight with the squishy heroes and your queen on the top. But you can only do that if your team is willing to like listen. You can like type in chat, go to pride. Maybe they do. A little bit of cheating there. But if you want to just sit on card, then it's only going to be about trying to find an angle where you don't get poked out by the DPS, and you can do some chip damage to the Sigma, or you can help your queen push the Sigma so you can win the tank trade and push the card. I don't think you have to go back here. Honestly, you could like follow your queen towards... it's kind of a long rotation. What do you think? What should you do here? I don't think it's going back because the queen is going forward.
Yeah. I mean, the queen's going forward, but like the Ash and the soldier can still kind of just shoot me if I push through those stairs.
So maybe just stay here, try to LOS the Ash and shoot the soldier. Or you could try to make a run for it. It's kind of risky to make a run for it, but if you want to, you could ring here and then boosters and then try to get to cover as fast as possible. Or, I don't know, like your queen is kind of just pressing W.
Yeah.
A bit rough. Either way, I don't think you go back, just because if you go back, I mean, even if you're chipping at soldier here, if you force him to look at you, he's not paying attention to your widow, so your widow can get an easy shot on him, right? He's gonna strafe left, right. Oh, I can't speak. Left, right. And if we look at your widow's POV, it's basically gonna stand still for her, right? Easy shot. You're baiting attention. Because you cannot kill these people. It's hard for you to get torpedoes out of, because if you do, you're gonna get shot. So you need to find a way to distract them or avoid them completely and focus on the tank trade. Because here you can't even peek, right? Maybe if you're here, you're forcing them to make a choice, at least. If you want to, you could even no, there's a soldier there. That's their good ring. So if you have a Moira, right? You don't have to babysit your queen anymore. Honestly, your Moira should be the one going with your cast. But if you see the cast is trying to take an angle and make a play, you should help him. Okay. Because if the Cassidy is here and he has support, he can do 300 damage to the Sigma and force him to like go back. If the Cassidy is here but you're on main, maybe he's not gonna die, but he's gonna be forced out, right? And there are very few scenarios when multiple angles or more angles isn't a good thing, especially when you're trying to break chokes. Because if you all funnel your pressure on main because you don't have a shield, it's very easy for the enemy to shoot you from multiple angles, just kill you. So your Cassidy is actually pretty smart, trying to take an angle here and poke the Sig out. So you should help him, as it makes sense why.
Yeah.
Again, your Moira is equipped better to help him here, just because of the nature of like she's close range, she wants to suck the Sigma and so on. But if your Moira wants to just play main with your queen, then you're the only other person that can help this guy, and you should, because he's trying to make a play. Sometimes when you help your teammates do funny stuff, it works out, and it's like it's better than letting him troll here. You know, it's better than just letting him go alone on the flank and die to the Sigma, because you're not gonna do anything here, as we've seen. You cannot kill anything here. So switch it up. You know, if you get a teammate with the brain, try to support them. Okay, this is fine. Queen. Oh yeah. Okay, we get a pick. I don't think... initially, I wanted to tell you to go high ground, but honestly, there's nothing really to do here. So, just nothing to do here because it's a bit too far for you. This is fine, I guess. Risky, but it's fine. Now you need to run away because you're gonna get dynamited. Okay, let's get a flank on. You see your Cassidy wants to flank, let's go help him flank. Because if you do, we're in a 2v2 here, but you also have your torpedoes. So if the Cassidy hits a headshot and you hit torpedoes, this guy's basically dead. And then if you don't, he's 100% going to lose the 1v1. And if you do, and we win this, it's going to be really, really easy to win the rest of the fight. Because, again, we have multiple angles. We have control of multiple lanes. You want to help your team, take control of the map. Also, when somebody is low, it's better to just shoot your gun than torpedoes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize this, but there's an Ashe behind you. And this is gonna keep happening. Like, we're gonna get shot in the back by the Ashe. We need to get this Ashe out, and the only way you get her out is you help your Cassidy push her. I think your queen is just pushing without shout, right? No, she has shout. The response to try and go help her is good. She just LOSs you.
Yeah.
So there's something you can do about that.
This one I've just felt lost. Like, you know, the queen kept going in, and then I had people behind me. It's just like,
yeah.
I don't really
the
know
answer
what to
to
do.
that
Do I
is,
help my queen? Do I help this guy?
The answer is always you clear the flank first. I can't write. Clear flank and then push. The reason for that is if you don't clear the flank first, you can't do it later. If you start pushing and you get shot in the back, you can't. It's gonna be like really, really hard to stop pushing and then go clear the flank. This is a commit. This is not a commit. This is just taking space. And you always clear the flank, because if you don't clear the flank, you get shot in the back. And if you get shot in the back, then it's really hard to make a choice because you're under a lot of pressure.
So I should have just...
You should have helped your Cassidy clear the flank.
Yeah, ignored my queen.
Yes. The Moira is playing with your queen. I mean, maybe not. She's DPSing backline. Either way, the correct play is to get this guy out. Because if you don't, he's going to drop here, and he's going to dynamite backline, and he's going to kill everybody. He is the highest threat target. And also your queen, she's not fighting the Ashe. Your queen also has a bit of self-sustain. She has shout, she has her carnage, she gets healing from doing damage, right? So it's a bit more of a self-sufficient tank. It's not completely self-sufficient, but you can like greed your damage a bit more when you have a queen. But it's 100% you need to clear this guy out. I said earlier that more angles are always better for you, and less angles for the enemy team is also always better for you, because you can just duck around a single corner and LOS everybody. We stop Rhine, which is fine. Soldier in spawn. You could orbit here if you wanted to. You could orbit and push the Sig. They don't have any speed. And if you orbit, it's not gonna kill you with Visor, I'm pretty sure. The orbit does like 100 healing a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about that afterwards. But
you also have a lot of ults right now, so there's no reason not to use orbit for Visor. It's a fine trade. Okay, we're playing tank roulette.
Yeah.
So it's scary, but fine. We're just using a lot of ults, we're chilling. This is fine. It's correct to not... I think your Winston's trying to help you cross. Also, if you get here and you boosters this way, I reckon you can get to high ground. I don't think the thing does anything, but it's fine. It's okay. We need an orbit here. Oh yeah. The moment Remora dies, we need an orbit here. Okay, so we're at a disadvantage. We're at 3v5. The only way we win this is with ults. And there's 12 seconds on the clock. There's no reason not to ult. If you ult, maybe... I don't know, maybe something nice. Classic Passion. It's okay. That's okay. Obviously, it would be better if you do it here, just because of the range of the range, but... yeah. Okay, let me look at how you... I just pick it wide. I will say that if you want to pick an angle, you should do it with your torpedoes. Like, if you want to put pressure on an angle, you should do it with torpedoes. And there's also... The only reason you die here is because you just go outside of the cover for too long. Like, just too wide. You get shot by 2 people. And now you probably... it's okay. My only 2 nitpicks are you probably need to torpedo here, and then just play closer to the corner. That's it. Yeah, I think we lose here, right? I mean, we don't have a tank, so... Okay, do you have any questions? Do you understand why it was so difficult to push this?
Because, I mean, we just kind of never really cleared...
Yeah, you never
high
cleared...
ground.
Yes, you never cleared high ground.
And, I mean... And to do that, I would need help, right? I couldn't really clear it on my own.
No,
I mean,
when you saw your Cassidy, you need to help him.
I should have been going with my Cass.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, another thing that you can do is, if you want to type in chat, or if you want to try to work with your teammates, this is a good way to try to take the map. Because if we look at the blue circles,
attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
this is good. We're splitting. The blue circles are split. We're also split. The Cassidy is trying to take an angle. We're back on main. Our Brick dies. Our Queen dies. Ironically, if you just stayed on your angle, you would have been able to help your Brick and Queen. This guy's trying to make a play. You see, he's trying to flank high ground. He gets killed because he's 1v3. Oh, he ult. Your guy is a god. I mean, it's crazy. If you're there, he gets another kill. 100%. mean, if you see that in what's it called, the kill feed, then your guy is a god, you know. You go help him. So like the one time we take the angles, we push the Sigma out. You see how he's losing space? He's sitting in the choke. He can no longer sit in the choke because there's a Cassidy with a Moira pocket here. So he ends up going back, which means that we can put our queen on card and whatever. Now we should probably like go high ground, clear the Ashe. We don't clear the Ashe. The Cassidy tries to clear the Ashe. He's alone. He cannot go anymore. He's out. And then we have two choices. We either go clear the Ashe or we like hard commit. We go in with everything here and try to take the 4v5. But that's hard. That's hard in solo queue. Because everybody needs to be on the same page, right? Your Widow wants to sit here and just snipe, but you can't because she's going to die to the Ashe. So then we clear the Ashe, right? There is a second... The second option is just to go all in here and take the 3v3 or 4v3 or whatever and let your Widow die. But we're not on the same page. That doesn't happen, so we lose. Because we're just kind of playing deathmatch. It's more like there is a bias in ranked for poke heroes. People like to play poke heroes more than they like to play brawl or dive. And with poke, it's important with any comp, but poke is about having different angles and pressuring from long range, from a distance, from multiple angles, and killing the enemy by the time they're like get close enough to do anything. So in that scenario, you need to help your teammates clear the angles. Because if we were like in a more coordinated environment, we could say, okay, screw this Ashe, we're gonna go all in, on main, use Shout, use Ring, use Moira, because our Moira would also like to brawl and go in hard, right? But because we're not on the same page, we don't make the... We don't choose either one, right? So we end up losing. Moira's trying to do something funny, she dies. Now we get Rhine. Spies ring. Now everyone wants to push. Okay, he dies. And we just need to orbit there also. So that's like the second mistake. The second important mistake. And then we still don't orbit here. I mean, it is very likely that we're still gonna lose regardless, but I mean, not here. Here is what's fine to not orbit because there is 3 ults. Yeah. But after that, over here, when our people die, also why are you on low ground here? I wonder. I guess it's not bad. But once our Moira dies here, we need something to happen, right? So we need to press Q. Because otherwise just lost. Okay. Does it make sense? Do you have any questions?
So if I was to ult there at the end, I mean, where would I kind of aim it at?
On card. Like you have
just aim it going down main pretty much.
Yes, aim it this way. Because maybe so like let's see what you see. You see a Winston, you see people. You could also maybe aim it this way, but realistically you want to like live on card because you will have to touch card. So if you like started here, your Winston get some healing, maybe you kill Diana. I don't know. It's like there's no good answer for this because the situation is so stacked against you that it's very unlikely that you're gonna win, right? But if I were to ult, I would just ult this way because you need to live on card. Somebody needs to touch card, right? So maybe your Cassidy goes in the ult and just straight up kills this guy somehow, you know? You cannot assist your Winston with this dive because it's too far away. So and you need to touch card, so I would just ult on card. Does it make sense? Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Not really.
Okay. Do you want to talk about anything else, or are you fine with ending here?
Yeah.
We end?
It's just... I don't know. I still feel kind of lost because like a lot of games just go like this lately, where it just feels hopeless and we just die.
Well, well, for one, you didn't play a very good comp for this first point. For two, you made a critical mistake in not taking high ground here. For three, we just greeted our ult for no reason here, so we just lost 3 important fights, right? I mean, not 3. We lost 2 important fights, and other than that, like, I don't know, you have a Widow, the Widow didn't hit shots. Sometimes it's not up to you. The fact that you lost is not super up to you, but there are important things that you should have done and you didn't do in this, or like smart things that you didn't do in this game. So I can give you that, right? I can't tell you why you're losing every game, but I can tell you that that you can improve on the way you're like seeing, on the way you're seeing like the flow of the fights, and the way you support your teammates to clear angles. So like the way you use your ring to take space or to kite, the way you use your ult. I think your ult usage has been mostly fine. The way you just your biggest thing is probably just finding your angles and finding. It's just a general thing with supports. Any support with mobility, they play their own angle, but if there is an angle that is also a +1, so you're playing with somebody, this is always the best option. It's always better to +1 with somebody than to go alone, because especially after season 9, you just don't have a lot of kill potential on support, right? So going with somebody, doubling up on a flank is very good, because together you have kill potential and you're much harder to deal with. And especially on this map against this comp, you just cannot play main because you will die to poke, right?
Yeah. So I should look to kind of take an off angle with a friend
Yes.
instead of by myself,
a
or
teammate, yeah. Preferably
Yeah.
not the other sport. But you just as like your role usually plays a bit further back, especially as Juno, right? So you can see what your team is doing. So you look, where is my team? My tank is on card, my DPS is taking a flank, let me go help my DPS if my support is like near to help the tank, right? If you're more as like jerking off in the backline, then I mean it's harder. It's a harder choice to make, but assuming they're, because people in most ranks they usually play on main. So like I can't tell you how to win every game, but I think there is important stuff that we've seen in this hour.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I can't give you the secret formula to winning every ranked game.
I know.